Chapter 9: End of Evil. Voice is a principle of intelligence. Voice is the highest form of communication between beings of the highest intelligence. The passion and feeling that people are able to put behind their words can change lives and change worlds. The few who achieve a glimpse of the power of voice bring either insane destruction or awesome freedom. Every great and terrible culture brought into the world was brought by the principle of voice. Every rebellion and revolution that destroyed cultures and empires was brought by the power of voice. Men who understood the principle of voice have irrevocably altered our world. The principle of voice is found in every element of human communication. Writing and books are lesser forms of human voice. Every transfer of words contains the power to change lives. When accompanied by the passion of life, voice alone has the power to free worlds. The principle of voice explains why freedom is a function of population. As population increases, it is more difficult for culture to maintain control over the speech of people. The more people communicate with one another, the quicker they learn their own value. Population increase brings increased freedom to the world because of the power of voice. When people are unfettered by the chains of culture, and when they do not believe the lie that they are powerless, they can change everything. To change the world, you must have the faith that you have such ability in yourself. You must open your mouth and speak. The principle of voice is the passion to convince, the passion to teach, the passion to create faith. It will strengthen you, and should you choose to use it, you will change lives. Future. The dreams that burn in the hearts of billions have been growing stronger through the millennia. Ages of destruction wrought by tyranny will not go unanswered. The children of this world are owed a liberty from slavery that can only be satisfied by the utter eradication of evil from the earth. Every dream of feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, and helping the poor is answered in this cause. Human beings are able to answer every need and desire of our world by using the principles we learn all around us. When the obstacles of evil are removed from the lives of people, technology and prosperity advance on an exponential scale. With only limited degrees of freedom in a small percentage of the world, human beings have cured scores of disease and discovered methods of feeding billions. All the comforts of modern life were made possible by people with the faith to succeed. Ask yourself what miracles may be accomplished when this small percentage becomes perfect freedom and is achieved for every one of the billions of people on earth. This is the infinite value of human beings. You are the key. The progress of liberty on our world is advanced by challenging culture and authority. Technology and the proof of the great American experiment are in our hands. To challenge evil, all that remains is to open your mouth and tell the people of the world that the dream of freedom is real. It is you who will teach the people of earth their value. It is you who will bring to pass the greatest revolution in the history of mankind. To challenge the authority of evil, you need to dismantle its tools of violence and culture. Culture is dismantled as simply as disobedience to the control of speech. When you speak your mind and refuse to take offense when others do the same, cultures cannot survive. There is nothing to fear in freedom. Violence is the tool of first and last resort for evil. Those few who will use it to enslave cannot be left alive. A perfect revolution. The price of freedom is blood. This is an immutable truth. The reason is that evil does not care if you live or die. Evil will stop at nothing to achieve mastery over you. A perfect revolution is a revolution where all of the blood paid for freedom is paid by the tyrants, and where none is paid by the innocent. There are only 3 types of action a person can take: that which exercises freedom, that which defends it, and that which destroys it. Cultures teach the nobility of destroying freedom by concepts such as the rule of law. At the same time, it teaches the immorality of defending freedom in concepts such as police authority. Culture cannot be allowed to continue as long as men of violence walk the earth. They will devise ways to create cultures under threat of death. The defense of freedom is always righteous, and no tyrant can be spared. There is no proper role for tyranny in the lives of people. As soon as you yield to the forces of compulsion in the name of life, you have lost your life, for it belongs to those who control you. Life is liberty. Without liberty, your life belongs to another. Liberty is to be defended at all costs and at all times. Govern yourself, for this is the nature of an individual. You and you alone control your actions and your mind. You and you alone control your actions and your mind. This is right, proper, and good. You have a responsibility to defend your liberty at all times. If you do not, it will be destroyed. To yield defense of your liberty to another is an absolute invitation to tyranny. Personal sovereignty is the end of evil, when every person on earth will defend themselves and those they love. When evil cannot gain even a foothold because all people are watching for it and recognize that it seeks to destroy their value. This is the exact opposite of perfect evil, in which every person is a slave and a master of slaves. Perfect liberty is life, and in it there are no slaves and no masters of slaves. Perfect liberty is life. Earth. The cultures of earth teach you to accept, to yield, and to obey. The end of evil is found in refusing the slavery of the mind. For the end of evil to be achieved, all people must be taught that they owe obedience to no one. They must be taught that the desires and dreams of their hearts are proper and good. They must be taught that every ounce of joy they seek can be had for themselves and those they love. This is the anti-culture to free the minds of people. Cultures are established first by the control of speech. Condemnation of speech is rampant in the strongest cultures. The end of evil will bring the defense of speech in every home and in every communication. Culture teaches that speech brings offense. Instead, you must see that speech brings a view into the mind of a human being. Ignore the interpretations of culture and see the intent and feeling of them who speak to you, and then speak back. The control of speech is crushed by the power of voice. In the end of evil, people cannot tolerate compulsion and force. The mistakes of history are found where people have allowed the establishment of culture. In every case, it was known that this establishment would destroy liberty. In the end of evil, tyranny will not be tolerated. You owe allegiance to no nation and to no law. You are a being of infinite worth and fully capable of escaping the bondage of evil. When you feel compelled not to speak, speak. When you are oppressed by law, circumvent it. When violence threatens you, crush it. Remember the lessons of technology. Technology is the fruit of freedom. Technology enables humanity at the expense of authority. Just one example of this is the extraction of economics from the control of nations. Regulation chokes economic activity by making it prohibitively expensive, cumbersome, and complex for newcomers to sell products and services. The answer is technology. Internet activities such as classified service listings will be merged with product auctions on an open and universal platform. We already understand how technology can bring the cost of selling down and make selling easier for everyone to accomplish. The lessons of evading extortion and control are likewise already learned. Global peer-to-peer networking ensures that no authority can switch off a server to dismantle economic activity. This dispersion of economic targets will make it impossible for governments to enforce taxation and control. Making peer-to-peer nodes anonymous using powerful encryption technology will make it extremely difficult for authority to bring excessive violence upon individuals to force examples of obedience. Steganography within established protocols such as HTTP will make disabling specific communications impossible without disabling all communication. Merging public auctions and marketplaces with anonymous, steganographic peer-to-peer networking will forever remove the control of economics from the hands of extortionist authorities. With technologies such as these, people can buy and sell anything without the interference of governments and mafias. Furthermore, governments will not be able to enforce taxation record keeping, since instead of a smaller number of corporations preferred by government, every one of the billions of people on Earth will engage their economics directly. Population and technology crush evil. What other devices can be imagined to free people from the tyranny of communism, terrorism, socialism, democracy, violence, and culture? With a human mind, there is no limit to imagination and invention. When technology and innovation beat down authoritative control, the liberty released will spawn astronomical advances. 1 ounce of freedom may bring 1 ounce of technology. 2 ounces may bring 10. 1 free person may bring 1 idea of innovation. 2 free people may bring 100. Total freedom for all people brings nothing less than infinite opportunity. The scale of the speed of human advancement can be seen in thousands of years of history, with modest gains in freedom and modest gains in technology. In the most recent few hundred years, technology has exploded. With each degree of freedom achieved, human knowledge builds exponentially. You have infinite value. With freedom, all things are possible. Technology, health, wealth, and knowledge are all facets of power. Each of these improve the lives of human beings. The fruits of liberty are everything good and bring peace, prosperity, and joy. You live after the era of wars, and the only remaining step in the pattern of liberty is to answer the question held in the minds of people around the world. The lies of millennia have not stopped the unquenchable thirst for freedom that grows within the hearts of every person on earth. They are poised and ready to take the freedom that is rightfully theirs. They need only to hear that freedom is possible, that freedom is real. You are the key to teach the people of earth the value that they have within themselves. You need only to speak and tell them that every good thing is theirs to have. You need only tell them that the glory of liberty is real and that it belongs to them. This war is already won. Evil has already been crippled. Every human being on earth is ready to rise and let the chains that held them crumble to dust. This world will be free. If you can see your own value, then stand tall. You are called onto liberty.